Today's episode of The Mom Game is brought to you by our friends at Gateway Buick GMC at LBJ and Jupiter. I know that buying a car can be stressful, but not at Gateway because their slogan is, Gateway's got it. And just what does that mean? Well, it means Gateway's got a wide selection of new Buicks, GMCs, and GM-certified used vehicles, all competitively priced. Gateway's got it. In these busy times, you want a car dealer who makes things easy and convenient. Well, guess what? Gateway's got it. When you log on to GatewayBuickGMC.com, look for the Shop, Click, Drive button. This allows you to shop from the comfort of your home, and who doesn't want that? In fact, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, select your vehicle. 2, create your offer. 3, schedule your delivery. And on top of all this, Gateway Buick GMC offers complimentary car washes for life. So when you want a car dealer who has it all, Gateway's got it. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick. And welcome to episode 202 of The Mom Game. I'm Emily Jones. She's Julie Dobbs. We're here by ourselves. This weather bites.
Yeah.
So over it. So over it. How do people live in Wisconsin or Minnesota? Seattle. Like
where it rains all the time.
Yeah, and I need sunshine. I need help making me happy. Like in a good mood.
Happy.
Yeah, like this is like I've had a fucking bitch of a morning, and this weather is only adding to it, and it's pissing me off, and I'm ready for it to go away. Yes.
We can have a meditation moment.
Yes. I need some serious meditation.
The weather is terrible. Today is Tuesday, and it's the second day of like torrential downpours mixed with like 30-degree temperatures.
Yeah, it's cold. It's
so
rainy.
It's bad.
It's gloomy.
Have you looked at the
I have
2-week forecast?
I have. And I've also looked at the forecast in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, where I will be in a week. And
fuck you then.
Wait. Damn straight.
I don't feel bad for you anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I cannot wait. I haven't been on a trip and like like adult only trip. It's been a while. I don't even remember the last. I guess last January. So it's been a year.
Yeah. Well, no, that's great.
Yeah. So
might as well go while you can.
Yes.
Before craziness, baseball and all that starts back up again.
Exactly. How are you?
Good. I'm good.
Good.
Yeah. I am excited that tomorrow it warms up and it looks like highs in the 60s for like the next 10 days or something.
I just want the sun to come out.
Yeah. I was even thinking that my dog was acting depressed this morning.
Yeah.
Because the dogs don't get walked, you know, like they don't go outside to play and everything. Like she's in a little bit of a pup depression too.
She's in a pup funk.
Yeah, she's in a pup funk. So I think it's affecting everybody.
Yeah.
And Kelly grew up in this weather. Like this is because he was from Vancouver Island, which is just straight over from Seattle, and like they would golf in the rain. They just like function in the rain as if it's nothing.
And I guess if you grow up, it's how you grow up. Like you don't know any different.
Yeah.
So that's why people are like, oh, how do you live in the Texas summers? And I'm like, what do you mean? That's what
right. You just go swimming.
Always been right. You jump in a pool and
take off our clothes.
Yeah. Like hey now.
And put on a bathing suit.
Yes.
But yeah, this is bad, but I think we will hopefully pull out of it.
I forgot to say, welcome to the Coppola studio. I need to start remembering that. We have our little bottles of wine to remind us.
Oh.
And we need to start drinking some. We haven't drank in forever.
I know.
For the show.
Something wrong.
I'm like, come on, where's a glass?
We do have a wine tasting on our show coming up.
That's true.
In just a couple of weeks.
That'll get us back in our rhythm.
Yeah.
That'll get us back in our rhythm.
I think it will.
Yeah.
I think it will.
I could use a glass right now just to calm my nerves because I came in so effing
Pop it
hot.
open.
I mean, but I don't have a glass. I don't think drinking straight from
out of the bottle
would be appropriate.
Why not?
But actually, it would be appropriate. So
yeah.
Go ahead. It's cold. It's been cold in the studio. I mean,
there she goes. Okay, now let that sink in.
I mean,
did it help?
A few more sips, and I'll be just right back to square one.
Do you want a glass?
No, I don't. I just want to. This is just going to be my bit. Like it comes in handy. This is the perks of being the Coppola studio.
That's
we
right.
have wine on hand, and this just happens to be a screw top. And I needed something to bring my ass down because my blood pressure is real high right about now.
Scary. It was
And
scary.
I know. But y'all are used to this. You know, this is how I operate. I said fuck so many times because I left my stupid glasses at Gateway Buick GMC because I was shooting commercials today. And I didn't even get a complimentary car wash because it's fucking raining and it's awful.
Oh, blessed.
I mean, they would have washed it for me. I mean, but they probably thought I was crazy as we're in a torrential downpour. And I'm like, I'd like to get my complimentary car wash, please.
For life.
For life. So, yeah. So anyway, this is good for me. This is just where I need to be when my wheels are
This is like a little bit of a
falling off.
therapy event.
It is.
Event session for us and hopefully the people that are listening too.
Yes.
Because they're always.
Yes. So thank you,
They
Copa.
relate to us going through shit.
Thank you for this timely spot.
Please drink responsibly.
Please drink responsibly. Look, you can hardly even tell I've had a drink.
No, you're good.
But it is amazing how like a couple of sips of wine it does bring my blood pressure down.
Yeah.
Significantly.
Yeah.
Which is
good.
I'm not sure what that says about me.
It's just like linked to relaxing.
It is.
Relax mode.
It's linked to relaxing.
Yes.
Okay, what's going on with you? Let's pull back the curtain. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about today. We're just kind of like flying by the seat of our pants. Usually I put the rundown in. I forgot to put a rundown in. Julie did make some notes, but this is going to be a wild ride, I'm certain, as you can already tell by me drinking straight from a bottle of wine.
It's going to be fun.
It is. It's going to be fun.
So I have one thing in my craw, but we don't need to get to that first.
Okay.
As far as catching up, I don't really have
We don't have a ton.
much else. I mean, I feel like your world is a little bit more exciting right now.
So it's funny. My MLB girls and I talk about this. Like once you get toward like the second half of January, like that's when it all kind of starts to sink in. Okay, I got to get my life in order. I got to get all this stuff taken care of because baseball season's about to start. Well, we've talked about the fact that my whole life is up in the air career-wise because of this stupid-ass Bally's deal / Amazon now has some streaming rights. And where do the Rangers fall into this? I still have not been able to sign my contract.
Oh.
Because there's a spring training element in it. Well, with the new Amazon announcement and how they're working that out, that could affect spring training games. So at this point, it's like I've got my basic agreement. It's basically 65 games. 15 appearances on behalf of the club, and I'm super excited about it, but nothing is like set in stone. Still spring training's not set in stone. I mean, like it's everything, there's still so much uncertainty. With that being said, it's still time to gear up for me, and the reason we're shooting on a Tuesday this week is because in a matter of hours, and if this doesn't happen, Ashley, you'll have to do some creative editing. Adrienne Beltre will be announced as an inductee into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Wow. That's pretty exciting.
Yes. So
and you get to be a part of it.
I am going to Cooperstown. I'm going to Cooperstown on Wednesday with Adrienne and Sandra, with a handful of Rangers, contingents. To go to Cooperstown, follow him on this journey, do a sit-down interview with him.
That's amazing.
I am so excited. I've been texting Adrienne and Sandra both very like mushy messages, like text like how much I love them and how happy I am and proud and all this kind of stuff. And, Adrienne gives like just these short, thanks. And, he doesn't like to talk about it because, you don't ever want to talk about it until it's happening. But he's on 99% of the ballots with like, how many ever left? Like a gazillion people would have to leave him off. And I just don't see there's any way that's happening. So anyway, super, super exciting time going to Cooperstown. And then I've got the winter caravan coming up, and then that will bleed into spring training. And then ultimately the season will get here. And so, yeah, it's starting to pick up and be kind of that crazy helter-skelter time of year.
Yeah, but like that's one of those moments and things that you just gotta like take a step back and be like, this is effing awesome.
Oh my gosh.
That I get to go. And that that this is happening, that this is my guy, that I get to be a part of it with him and his wife. Like that's such an awesome, monumental moment for him and his life, and they're letting you into it. Like,
well, and it's like I told them, it's like, and I told him this when Adrienne retired, and I wrote it in that open letter I kind of pinned to him and his family, and the video that Fox Sports or Bally's put together for that was beautiful 5 years ago. Adrienne and Sandra changed their family changed everything for me career-wise. And it's like I said in there, I've always felt a part of the Rangers organization, but Adrienne and Sandra made me feel like family, and the way that they treated me changed the way that other people treated me. And not, I mean, I was always treated wonderfully, but like Sandra just went that extra mile to to make sure. And I see that a lot. Maddie Seeger does that a lot now. Tara Samian, the wives on our team are wonderful in that regard. It's just, it started with Sandra for me.
Yeah.
And Adrienne, of course. But, because Adrian is just, he's just such a special player. He's a special human. So yeah, I'm just so excited, not only because it's, someone I covered for 8 seasons and got to know their family, but it's someone I consider a friend. I consider the Beltres friends. I can, I keep up with their kids and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's super, super exciting.
Yeah,
I'm really
that's
excited.
gonna be awesome.
I know. I'm
Private
excited.
plane, look at you in a PJ.
Oh, again, I know most people would be really excited about getting on a PJ, but you know how I am
you're
about flying.
scared.
Because
Does it make you more scared than a big plane?
Okay, so this is weird psychology. So I'm like, well, I mean, have you ever done this where you get on a plane and you like look and see who's on the plane, like even a commercial flight? Like,
Yeah.
and there would be a part of
Like
me
who
that
you would be stuck on an island with?
No, but like I would see somebody and be like, oh, there's, I don't know, insert important person here, and I'd be like, okay, they're going to take good care of this flight because so. But then you also think of, dang, if this thing goes down, it's going to be like, so and so is lost in plane crash, and then like down in like the 4th paragraph. Also, Emily Jones McCoy was perished in the accident.
Yeah,
like,
can't even steal the headline in death.
right. Like, if I'm gonna go down in a flaming hunk of steel, like at least give me some shine on my way down. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know, like. I just am such a nervous flyer, and a lot of times the smaller the plane, the more nervous I get.
Have you been on a PJ?
Yeah. Many times, Julie. No, I'm just kidding. Not many times.
I've just been on one, I think.
Yeah.
Did
it have the props or the no props? I'm really like, I haven't asked for the specs on the plane, but I'm like, surely we're not running props out there. Like, we're the exposed propellers.
How? Like, I would have noticed that. Like, I would have looked at the propellers.
Like, if you see them, like, it's like, looks like 2 giant fans.
I didn't look at it.
Okay, well then probably they didn't.
I don't look at
like
things
it, because I had to. I rode on a prop plane a couple of months ago, and it scared the bejesus out of me. Because I'm like, I shouldn't be seeing the thing that's getting us.
Oh,
up
okay.
in the
Then mine
air.
probably didn't.
Okay,
Yeah.
Probably. So anyway. It'll all be great. It'll all be fine. I'm excited. It's going to be cold AF, but I still don't know exactly what I'm wearing. I'm asking Sandra, like, what are you wearing? Like, I don't know. I'm just.
What's the weather like?
It's like cold AF and like snowy-ish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
No, that'll be amazing.
So yeah.
Fun. Well, we are
Super
excited
fun.
to get the full report.
I know.
Next week on the mom game.
What about you? What's been going on? How's work?
Work is fine. We're having fun. I got to draw angry eyebrows on Jeff yesterday. Because he went 0-4 on the divisional round NFL picks, and Mike Reiner and I went 3-1.
Which one did you miss?
I don't even know, because it was, again, like we were betting with the spread or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it was probably Detroit, I'm thinking. But no, it was just such a fun weekend of watching football, and we didn't have too much on the calendar besides a couple of basketball games for the kids, and it's fun that Ryder's at an age where he's really into it, so we can just lay on the couch and watch sports. And that was pretty much our weekend, which was wonderful. So other than that, nothing too crazy going on.
Yeah.
Got my hair done for the first time since July.
It looks pretty.
Thanks.
And you have like full makeup
Exciting.
on and everything.
Well, when you said you were going to the car place, I was like, fuck, I got to get my shit in gear. Because you're going to, from your commercial shoot.
So yes.
I had to try and match.
Yeah. Somebody, when I went to Starbucks this morning on my way to Gateway, they're like, whoa, look at you. And I was like,
same Starbucks.
That I go to every morning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I know. This is what happens when, I get dressed and put on makeup and
that's what
fix my hair.
Dan and Jake used to always say on the podcast days, and I'd go into work and be like, whoa, podcast day. I was actually just chatting with him on the way in. He was like, oh, so you're all done up for podcast day.
Got the makeup on.
Like, yep.
Okay, so sports-wise, you talked about the the games,
Yeah.
football-wise.
Football-wise, yeah.
Are we over the Cowboys, but now it's no more drama?
Well, the Cowboys can't stay out of the news because now you've probably seen where all their family members are getting involved in the action. Micah Parsons' brother, Dak Prescott's brother, Tad, and then CeeDee Lamb's mom. Did you see her Facebook post?
I did.
I tweeted, or I put it on our
I heard
mom
you talk
game.
about it on the radio.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Lena something, I think is her name. She posted on Facebook, and I believe it was like the day of or the day after the Cowboys lost to the Packers, and said, Dak ain't it. CeeDee Lamb's mom, Dak ain't it. And then someone was like, you need to get CeeDee to come over to play with CJ Stroud or whatever in Houston. And she was like, yeah, I think so. That'd be awesome. He's great.
I mean, you've got to think that, like, these guys are like, please,
like, just like mom. And of course it's on Facebook. We laugh about your mom on Facebook. Like
the
Facebook.
mom on Facebook is just something. Like,
they're aggressive.
Yeah, I would say like 50 and over maybe.
Yes.
Like that mom group is just like, it's
like
Facebook.
they've just figured out that
right.
there's this place where they can voice their opinion.
Right.
And
Do you think that's the way kids look at us about, like, because they're on TikTok now so much?
Yeah.
Like, Instagram, like, so
maybe.
lame.
I feel like Insta's still hanging on a little bit.
Is it?
Yeah. But there she goes. But yeah, that stuff is like what everybody is talking about. We had Terrence Parsons on the Speakeasy yesterday,
Micah's brother
who went on social media and basically said, like, y'all better shut up. Like, you're talking so much shit about Micah after that loss because he didn't have a great game. Like, you're going to miss him when he's gone. And so, of course, that set everybody, like, on fire. What do you mean? What do you know? You know, and then he had to come out and say, everything that I've said is just me talking. I haven't talked to Micah. And then Micah made a statement saying everything Terrence Parsons Jr. is saying is not reflective of my opinion. I stand with my brothers on the team, which, in my opinion, he used, maybe I'm overthinking it, but I thought he used the word brothers, talking about his teammates intentionally. Like, these are my brothers, even though that guy's technically my brother.
Right.
You know, I stand with them, not necessarily him. Which I don't think they have a bad relationship or anything. It doesn't sound like, but I imagine if you're Micah Parsons or CeeDee Lamb, like, or even Dak Prescott, like, you've got to be a little pissed at these people.
You just have enough to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, in that regard, to not have, you know, the extra things added to it.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, listen, everybody's got their right. And then some people, you know, maybe Dak doesn't care. Like, F it, do what you know, do you, who cares?
I mean, it's just part of being a Cowboy. Like,
right.
You like the endorsements, like, you like all of the extra, you know, fame and fortune that comes with being a Cowboy and having the star in the helmet. But you're going to get a lot of the crap too in the a-hole fans.
So we've talked about this before, but when I started in Lubbock, when I was the sports director at that time, I was so young, 23, and you know, that's freaking the buckle of the Bible Belt, and you know, conservative, and people did not know what to make of, you know, me doing that job at that age in that area. And that was when there wasn't Twitter and Facebook. There was, you know, message boards, and the people would just annihilate me on the message boards. And I had a really solid group of guy friends that were on there, because my girlfriends weren't on there, but my guy friends were, and they would get on there and defend me. And then people would be like, oh, you're just saying that this is Emily pretending under a beard account, or that's not the right word, is it? Beard is something very different. Like,
I don't know what that is.
Stay away
but
from that.
Burner.
There we go. Burner account.
Beard.
A beard is like when you're. What is it? A beard is when you're gay and you have a.
When you're gay or lesbian and you're with the opposite sex,
to cover
the fact that you are whatever you are.
Definitely not the word I was going
new
for.
every day.
There you go.
Okay.
Definitely not what I was going for. Burner was what I was going for. Starts with a B. Anyway, but so yeah, it's just like, you know, you're almost like, and I would tell them, like, guys, just trust me, I can fight my own battles. Like, don't worry about it. It just makes it worse.
It's nice though.
Very nice. Very nice. But yeah, it's you know, it's the Cowboys. What do you do? Like, you're part of the biggest sports franchise in the history of the world, and so everything you say and your cousins say and your brothers and your mom are going to be scrutinized. So,
and on top of that, it was a very bad loss.
It was terrible,
and they were expected to do a lot more.
Yeah. And they didn't.
And they didn't. But yeah, Cowboys still managing to stay in the news with some drama.
Yeah, drama. Save the drama for your mama.
That's right. Where
CD.
your mama creates the drama.
Um,
I'm not going to lie. If people start talking S on Ryder on some social
That's
media
what I mean.
platform
Yeah,
in 10,
I know.
15, 20 years,
I
I'm
know.
going to go kick their ass.
I know. Oh, we'll
Watch
have
out,
to
world.
put that in a time capsule. Okay, so Mavs and Stars, I feel like they're just kind of like this.
Yeah, the Mavs lost last night to Boston, who Kristaps Porzingis plays for now, and like totally
And
missed
didn't
that.
play.
And he didn't play,
Yeah.
like knee inflammation or something from the night before. And Boston's the best team in the league, and they lost. It wasn't like a blowout. They were in it towards, with
Yeah.
like, I don't know, 5-7 minutes left in the game.
But they're like they're like hanging on to like the 8th seed. They're kind of,
Yeah, like
they're
where
just
they
very-
always are.
I know, they're just middling.
They're just
They're
yeah, they are. And good news is people are getting healthy. Like
Yeah.
we have to have Luka and Kyrie both playing together for an extended
Well,
period of time.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
and it's about to be the point where I was just telling, we were at home last night, and I was like, oh my gosh, we've reached that point where now we start, because there's no football on regularly.
Yeah.
Now we've got 3 games left, counting the Super Bowl, over the next 2.5 weeks. So now it's time to start where people start honing in on the Stars and the Mavericks.
Yep.
Which I get excited about, because I'm like, and call me a fair weather fan or whatever, but I kind of pay, loose attention
I think that's
up
how a lot
until
of people
this
are.
point. And then
Yeah.
once it starts getting to this point, it's like, okay, let's start diving in. Let's learn about this team. Let's figure out where we are. Let's start rooting and watching that, on a regular basis. So
Yeah, and the good news there is they have both kept themselves in pretty good
Yes.
spot. So it's not like anybody's going to be turning their attention to the Mavs and Stars, and their season will be over.
Right.
which
It's almost like we
halfway
talked
through
about
could be.
so long with the Rangers. Like,
Yeah.
just keep me to the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Keep me in it till the All-Star
Our
break.
attention.
Keep our attention. And then, of course, they did that and more last season. But I feel like I kind of view it the same way. Is keep us in it, until football's almost over, and then we can start, pulling for them big and watching them, paying closer attention.
Yep.
Okay, so you got something, and truth be told, I did not look at I think I glanced at the note you put in our shared note, but I didn't see exactly what it was.
Okay.
But let's talk about it, because it's kind of a what's in your craw type thing.
Yeah.
And then, but first let's talk about the events coming up at Globe Life Field, because it's not just the Rangers that are gearing up, but college baseball is as well.
Yes. We just did a really sweet social media post about this that maybe we can just run again, because Ashley did a really great job with it.
It was.
So you might have seen it on there, and we talked about it last week as well. But as Emily said, college baseball is returning to Globe Life Field, which of course is the home of the World Series champion Texas Rangers. It's got all the good juju around it right now out at Globe Life Field, and they're kicking off the college baseball season with 3 straight weekends of action, featuring some of the top teams in the country. This is such a fun thing to take your family to go do. You can watch some college baseball, even if your team isn't playing, but I bet you they are, because listen to all of these. It's going to start with the Shriners Children's College Showdown. That's presented by Kubota, and that's going to be February 16th through 18th. And that weekend, you have Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Baylor, Tennessee, Nebraska, and Oregon all playing out in Arlington. Then the next 2 weekends, because there is 3 weekends of college baseball action out there, February 23rd through 25th and March 1st through 3rd is going to feature TCU, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Oklahoma State, Michigan, Oregon State, USC, and Arizona State in the Kubota College Baseball Series. Visit globelifefield.com/college baseball for more, or is that a slash? I can never know. I
Slash.
can never tell. It's just a regular slash.
You know what I
get
learned a
confused
long
by the
time ago that the
slash and the
like
slash.
the backslash is like just ditch, like just forget about the backslash.
Okay, I can do
Just
that.
slash, because I used to say backslash, and
Yeah.
someone was like, no backslash.
It's always just a slash.
Slash.
Okay, good to know. I'm going to try that again.
Congratulations.
globelifefield.com/college baseball for more information. Tickets for all 3 weekends are on sale now. Do not miss out on the chance to see your favorite school in this premier college baseball event. We are so thankful to Rev Entertainment for their partnership here in the Mom Game, and we definitely want to continue to spread the word about this fun college baseball schedule that they have on tap, as well as all the other cool events going on out at Globe Life Field. globelifefield.com/college baseball.
How do
Yay,
you know the
Julie.
difference between a front slash though and a backslash?
I don't know. Just say slash. Let's just keep it.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, what is it? What's
So,
your notes?
so this is like something I've been thinking about for a while, and it it does have to do with the Taylor Swift hate a little bit, but in even broader form, um, just in general, you're seeing it. Like you see it with the Cowboys, you see it with the Patriots, and I'm talking about male insecurity slash ego stuff that I feel
Ooh.
like is it's in my craw, I guess.
Okay.
And it's most present with the Taylor Swift thing, because it's like you mention her name, and I've talked about this before, but like people get so mad. We're seeing her too much. Oh, she's so annoying. Oh, it's so gross that Travis Kelce made heart hands to Taylor Swift. Ooh, vomit face, vomit face, vomit face. Ooh, she's so gross. Why is she just wants to be in the spotlight? Which, by the way, I think Jason Kelce was doing all of that shit to steal the spotlight away from her and to give her a break.
Yeah.
When he ripped off his shirt and jumped out of the suite and all this. Like, if you're new to Taylor Swift, like, she is a wonderful person. You hear all these accounts, even that she's not trying to do from the game. Like last week, we talked about she gave somebody a scarf because they look cold. Her scarf, there was just an account that came out, somebody at Highmark Stadium, home of the Buffalo Bills, where people were just booing her uncontrollably. By the way, a worker walked by and kind of got all nervous, and Taylor was like, oh, do you want to take a picture? Can I give you a tip? Here's $100. Just because. Like, she's making the world a better place. And she's also uber talented. Time Magazine most influential person of the year, all of that. But I think the people who freak out at her site or say that there's too much Taylor in the NFL right now, you're showing your insecurity. You're showing your insecurity of a strong, successful woman. And having her at an NFL game, at your sport, in your little world, where you can go crazy and take off your shirt and paint your face and be a man and slam beers and all that, and then seeing Taylor Swift there, you don't know how to handle it, and you're showing your insecurity. So chill the F out. She's just going to support her boyfriend. Okay? That's one thing.
Woo! Julie's on fire.
That's one thing. The other thing with the Ring of Honor and Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson, and then we just talked about this article on The Athletic about the Patriots and their inner workings of the world between Bill Belichick and Tom Brady and Robert Kraft, and how they didn't get along, and how it was always a battle of like who gets credit for their success. And we know that's what it comes down to for Jerry and Jimmy, and Jerry being threatened by Jimmy getting all of the credit for the 3 Super Bowls, and then holding on so long to that grudge to where he won't let him in his little Ring of Honor that he made up, that I still don't think is that big of a deal, but Cowboys fans are like, it's such a big deal. He had to get over the fact that he wasn't the one getting all of that or getting all of those accolades and getting all of that credit. And to me, I don't get it. Like, you have a successful NFL franchise, a dynasty in the Patriots. Who gives a shit who gets the credit? Who gives a shit who gets the credit for the Cowboys? You won 3 Super Bowls. You guys found success. You've made bajillions of dollars. You're one of the richest people in the world, Jerry Jones. Why do you give a shit if the head coach gets credit? Why does Robert Kraft care if Bill Belichick's getting credit?
In a team sport, by the way.
In a team sport.
The whole thing is geared toward team. But I will say, you have to also keep in mind, Julie, you're not the same as everyone as far as level of competitiveness. I feel like, I feel like you're like, yeah, I'll defer to you, or I don't need to, to be in the headlines or the spotlight or get credit for this or whatever. That's your person. You have a more laid back personality, I think. Like, but when it comes to like highly competitive people, that's one of the things that motivates them. And so whether it's right or wrong, it's part of their DNA that has probably gotten them to the point that they're at. And so I understand wanting the credit to an extent, but going as far as they have, as far as Jerry has, like, that's insanity to me. And to the point where usually those highly competitive, uber like aware people that care so much about what people think would be like, ding, ding, ding. everyone realizes what I'm doing here. That the reason I'm not putting him into the Ring of Honor is because I haven't done it without him, and I don't want people to think that I'm giving him too much credit.
Right.
And not realize. Usually,
very obvious.
Right. Usually they'll be like, okay, red flag, better do this if for no other reason than so people don't say I'm being petty and want all the credit. But Jerry's far beyond that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people will see things logically from that circumstance, even if they don't want to do it, and be like, well, fuck, I got to do it anyway, because people are starting to talk about the fact that I'm just petty and jealous of the fact that I haven't done it on my own.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I guess I just don't get it in the end. Like, what does that do for you? What does that credit do for you?
Right.
Like, do you feel more fulfilled as a human? Like, does that help with your insecurities, which I feel like this is all boiling down to these people are insecure. And I don't know, it's also weird too that both Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft have like women all over the place and massage people and gross shit. Like, what does that go hand in hand with being insecure and needing all the credit? Like, does that make you feel better if you can go get a
happy ending?
A happy ending?
Yeah.
At some Orchids of Asia place, or if you can have 27 girlfriends that you're impregnating all the time and pretending like you're not. Like,
right. Well, so
it's just gross. And who gives a shit?
Right. I hear you.
If your team wins, that's what matters. And there are leaders that are not that way. Like Jim Nill for the Dallas Stars comes to mind.
Right.
Like the general manager of the team who, or a really successful athlete that's always deferring, deflecting. And like Jamie Benn, and I only know these Stars players, and that's why I use them as examples. Or like Dirk, right?
Yeah.
Like there are people that don't care and don't want that shine and don't want that success. And they're still very competitive.
100%.
And they have that drive. It's just something about it. Maybe the Taylor Swift stuff like is just really glaring right now.
Yeah.
But with the Patriots and with the Cowboys and everything, I'm just like, holy F, can we just chill out?
Yeah. My whole thing with the Taylor Swift thing is like, what has she really done to make you so angry?
Nothing.
Like, what has she done? She showed up to her boyfriend's game and she cheered too hard. Like, what has she done to make you so mad at like just the sight of her?
It's crazy.
Is it because she makes $800 gazillion and is a smart
because she's a billionaire?
Yeah.
And you can barely pay your bills.
Right. Well, but also too, so okay, here's an interesting juxtaposition.
Uh-huh.
So what I was about to say on the Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft thing, and I have this conversation, with people all the time, is that too much money and too much power makes you do shit you would have never done minus that power and minus that money. Like, money and power make you do crazy shit that you normally wouldn't do. And, I think about this all the time whenever, I think about guys who come from nothing and then sign a big baseball contract or whatever. And to be able to stay grounded to who they are, and, whether it's baseball or you start a construction company and you make $1 gazillion and all of a sudden people are, basically sucking you off and you're cashing checks for ridiculous amounts of money. It's so hard to stay who you are.
Yeah.
It's so hard to stay, for lack of a better term and a less cheesy one, stay true to yourself. It's just stuff starts getting like shoved at you that you can't bat it off.
And it just starts spiraling.
And then you just start losing sight slowly but surely of kind of where you are, where you came from. And I'll say this about, and I don't fucking know Taylor Swift, please. I mean, whatever. I think she's great. Like, I listen to her music. My kids love her. I went to her concert. I thought she was phenomenal. I think she's smart as all get out as far as business is concerned. She doesn't seem like she's changed that much. Like, as far as like who she is, like she's a kind individual by all accounts. Like, you haven't heard the Ellen DeGeneres stories about how she's a tyrant backstage or whatever. Like, so what is it? And I think what it is a lot too, Julie, I think it's overexposure. Yeah. I think she's getting shoved down people's throats that don't necessarily love her. And they're like, uncle on her. It's like I feel about Cowboys coverage 2 weeks after they've lost. Yeah. Why are we still talking on the radio for 2 hours?
And it's probably the same reason in both
about the Cowboys
scenarios, because there's a boss saying that the Cowboys get ratings and Taylor Swift gets ratings. And
Yes.
Taylor Swift, I mean, the viewership for the NFL right now is like better
Yeah.
than it's ever been for games she's at.
Yeah, my girl, and then they showed this was on the New Heights podcast, Jason and Travis Kelsey's podcast. Like Jason brought up his numbers when she's in attendance and when she's not in attendance.
Yep.
But it's so funny, like you talk about that. My girlfriend sent us a note that her daughter had wrote her. Like she writes her notes in her lunch, and her daughter wrote her one back, and she signed it, "Go Chiefs." TSTK, and she sent us the picture. We're like,
Cute.
what's TSTK? And she was like, Taylor Swift, Travis Kelsey.
Yep.
This girl is in 3rd grade, and I can tell you, doesn't give 2 F's about the NFL, but she's now a Chiefs fan and signing letters to her mom, TSTK, go Chiefs.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun because they're both, by all accounts, really good people that are really entertaining. That have
And then
fun,
people are like,
that people
Travis
love.
Kelsey and that Pfizer, the vaccine, and like, okay, like, hating on him for that. Like,
How
it's just
he made so much money for that.
I'm sure he did.
So much money.
And let's not pretend that there weren't 800 people telling you to get the vaccine when that shit happened. Like, I don't know.
Everybody was. Yeah.
Why are we? And then too, it's like people getting so. I'm just laughing at me. Just
I need a
Well, I
drink,
make my
Emily.
point.
Open the red.
It's just like how I don't know. Like how it's just how fired up people get about
Yes.
that.
It's
about
crazy.
Taylor Swift.
It's like, just worry about yourself. Like,
Right.
she's making the world a better place. How
Right.
can you do that?
Right. You're.
Commenting on Facebook or
They're
texting
showing
into
her
radio
cheering.
hosts or writing into
Right.
networks, that's not going to make the world a better place. And really, that's what we need.
Right.
We need that.
Let's make the world a better place.
We need that from everybody.
Cheers.
And she's doing that. So I don't know. It's just been really bothering me lately.
And I know you get it because you talk about her on the radio, and then people
Oh,
start
yeah.
chiming in about,
yes.
shut up. Every time she talks about Taylor Swift, I tune out, and it's like, okay. Well.
And that's just whatever. Like, it's funny. I laugh. Like, when I got hired for this job or when I worked at the ticket, I was like Star's hardcore person. And just the way the world has worked, like, that's kind of waned a bit. And now I'm like replacing it with Taylor Swift fandom.
Right.
Like the network, the stations probably didn't sign up for this when they brought me on, but that's who I am right now at this moment in time. And I don't give a shit. Like, I like talking about it. It's
right.
fun.
And that's what
I love her.
And a lot of people are obviously talking about
And even
it.
when I talked about the Stars, people would
Is
complain.
that thunder?
It sounds like it.
Oh my gosh, it was. It was not an. That was
one
an
was it?
airplane. It was crashing into an apartment building. It was very loud. Let's hope it's not.
That
an
was
airplane.
quite ominous. But no, I was just saying, people would complain when I talked about the Stars too, right?
Well,
people just complain.
oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I'm so tired. Dude, no one likes
People
hockey.
just complain. Period.
They just complain.
Let's be real.
And it's one of the hard parts of radio is like you are being judged on your personality or whatever. But
Well, and too, it's like you're talking for 4 hours. You're talking for 20 hours a week.
it's a fucking lot.
That's a lot of things for people to pull from.
Right.
To be pissed about.
And it's fine. But yeah, I was just thinking about that because the Jerry and Jimmy stuff was driving me nuts, and this Patriot stuff, the more you hear about it, it's like Bill Belichick when on Tom Brady's last season apparently went to Robert Kraft and was like, he's washed. You got to get him out of here.
So watched he won a Super Bowl
washed
in
he
Tampa
left
Bay.
and like, okay, you can't handle someone else.
Yeah.
Like these 3 men that are all successful when they
Yeah.
work together, all butting heads because
Right.
they are fighting over who gets the glory.
Yeah.
It's just so dumb.
I know.
Okay, though, but there is a whole like scientific study out that talks about powerful, successful white men.
Yeah.
That if there's a correlation between like sociopath behaviors and narcissistic behaviors as there is with actual serial killers. So it's like there's these me behaviors and me mindset that tends to steer them into a way of crashing with other alpha males like they are.
Right.
Little
And if it
tidbit.
goes terribly wrong,
Well,
they
and
become
it's like-
serial killers.
Oh. Yeah.
Not exactly,
Not
but
Well, I think I totally see your point. I totally do.
And nothing will change, but
no,
it's just like
it
a
won't.
vent thing that I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I know.
If your team's successful,
Like,
that's what matters.
listen, if you can't stand Taylor Swift and like the sight of her, she's on for like 5 seconds every, maybe drive or whatever. Like, can we not just get over it? Like,
Right.
I don't know. Like I said, it would be one thing if she was like a total a-hole, but she's not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
saying you have to go out and, be a Swiftie and get a friendship bracelet. And
It says more about you than it does her if you freak
Yeah.
out at the sight or sound of Taylor Swift. Like I said,
But
your
I
insecurities
know.
are
Well,
showing.
and also it just shows like if people don't, if it's not something that we like, and people don't ideas that we don't think of or agree with,
Yeah.
you don't have time for it. It's just like, just have a glass of wine
Different
and
strokes
chill
for
out.
different
Strokes for
folks.
different folks. Okay.
That's right. So that's been in my craw. Whew, feel
Whoa,
better.
do you? I know.
better.
I feel like we've solved a lot of problems
Yeah,
today.
I think so.
I drank a little bit
Emily's
of wine
feeling better than she did when she came in.
straight out of a bottle.
Something out of my craw. You're getting ready to get on a PJ.
I know. Prayers for me and the
All
PJ.
is right in the world.
It is. Okay, next week we're back at it. Do we have anybody next week? Is that our no?
No, I think there's one
That's
more
the
until our wine tasting party.
Yes, last show until I go to Mexico. Next week. I'm so excited. Okay, so we'll see you back here next week.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a guest. Maybe we
Same
won't.
time, same place.
Yeah.
Got to tune in to find out.
Gotta
Never
tune
know
in
what
to
we
find
have up our sleeve.
Follow our YouTube channel or subscribe to it. Or
Yes.
hit the thumbs up button. Like and subscribe, y'all.
Ashley, tell everybody what to do.
Go to the Mom Game Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and like or subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 followers, and we are on the cusp of it.
We're
So
almost there.
close. Like and subscribe. That's what all the kids say. All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Jules, for having a vent session with me.
Anytime.
Bringing my blood
same,
pressure down.
Same to you.
Okay. All right.
It's always good to gather here once a week and talk through life.
Gathered here today.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Y'all have a good week. We'll see you next week for episode
We're getting
203.
married.
Mom Game out.
Mom Game out.
The Mom Game is proud to partner with local Geico offices, Victoria Elliott, proudly serving your local community.